The king of my heart, be the mountain where I run, the fountain I drink from. Oh, he's my song.
Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. So I like to kind of divide it into what was I like before Jesus, how did I come to know Jesus, and then what is like after Jesus. But as I was thinking, it really came down to, in my life, what kind of one major lie did I believe, and then what truth set me free from that lie. So I grew up going to church until I was about 16. My dad kind of led our family in that. He found it through alcoholism, going to Alcoholics Anonymous, found God. And so we attended church. Church for us was a very Sunday only thing. We never really had conversations outside of that. For me, it was just where a bunch of old white people went and gathered in a building and sang, while I went to this other room and did like weird songs that were meant for children. And so, yeah, I think what really kicked off my story was whenever I was about 16. My dad, who was working at a hospital, got let go from his job, and I saw that kind of crash his world, and our family's world kind of imploded after that. I saw my parents get in a lot of arguments, mainly around financial stuff, and I overheard a conversation, and I think somewhere in that time, I remember telling myself just one lie that kind of set me off on this path of just self-reliance. And it was, they're talking about finances, and I was like, I never want to have to ask my parents I never want to have to depend on my parents for anything ever again, because they have stuff going on that I don't want to be impose myself onto. And I think immediately after that, I went and got a job. I was about 15 and started working 30 hours a week, just so I could go out and have freedom to be able to live life and not have to rely on them for money or and really started kind of removing myself and seeing myself, trying to not impose myself as a burden onto them. And so in that, I just, really gotten consumed in how do I live life in a way that allows me to survive, kind of just survival mode, really. Relationships after that were pretty surface level, didn't go very deep. And that continued on, and went off to university for a year before dropping out and failing out of that, and then ended up just becoming a bartender, where I just fell into just drinking a lot, doing drugs, and chasing relationships, which really kind of defined my life for the next 4 to 5 years. And so with that kind of faith, with that church background, I would say my faith was very passive in the fact that there's this Jesus guy who existed in my life. And I knew he was there, but that was kind of it. There wasn't a relationship between me and Jesus. It was just kind of, oh, this really bad thing is happening, or I'm at a really low place right now, but like it's okay because Jesus is there. So there was some truth to that, but I was missing out on just like the life that brought, because I was still in a lot of despair at that time. And so, in my search to kind of find how to create a life for myself that I wanted and be my own God, I searched through just working really hard and trying to stack as much money as I could, to trying to fit in, whether that was partying or doing things that other people were doing that I didn't necessarily agree with, and just doing it to do it. Through meditation, experimenting different kinds of just non-Christian practices. And all it did was kind of just continue sucking the life out of me. And every time I thought I was getting better, I would just come crashing back down to earth and bungee cording back. And I was just in a really dark place. And I think God was gracious in that time, looking back, just because he provided just jobs so I could eventually in my struggle to be like, okay, education is a way that I can find satisfaction from life. Provided money so I could go back to university while working part-time. And then, I think it all came crashing down when it was working part-time in a relationship. I wasn't really friends with my roommate anymore, so I was kind of on this solo journey to find what in life would allow me to be okay no matter what happens, because I didn't want to be like my dad, who when he lost his job, his family life imploded, his life imploded, and then he kind of relapsed after that. And so after searching, I remember just clearly having a conversation with Catherine, who is now my wife, but we were just friends at the time, sitting on the couch and saying, I think that I can't maintain relationships because I haven't let God into my heart, and I don't have a relationship with God, haven't received that from God, so I can't build that with other people. And then ever since she left, and then I kind of cried out to God, and that night and was just sitting on my bathroom floor, and I was just like, man, God, I want to be able to build relationships and deep with other people, and I just can't, and I'm just either using them for my own personal gain or using them for approval and for selfish reasons, and I wanted out of it. And in that moment, it was just like immediately after, God just clearly answered, and I think that's where the truth comes in of that is just such a clear one night, and then I wake up the next morning, and it was just, there's this light on my life and this joy in my life that hadn't been there fully before. Ended up finding a church, and then it kind of snowballed after that into a community, very like missional community, and then that snowballed into just, I think, went to church every Sunday in this community every Wednesday for the next year. And it just started slowly filling up my life again. And then just allowed Catherine and my wife and I to make better decisions in our relationship that pushed us, allowed us to repent and push us to a godly relationship, and just have purity in that. And then just the fruit of that and other relationships that I built along the way pulled me out of just what would have been at the time alcoholism and drug addiction, and just really just saw fruit from that moment on. And then, through that met Adam at the Well, the church that I attend back home in Austin, Texas. And he obviously has a heart for missions. And I just really kind of resonated of like reaching people who were just really lost like me, and just shining the light in their life. And so, I think now just desiring to live missionally and share that hope and that love with others who were where I was, whether it's an addiction or trying to rely on others' approval or acceptance. And just wanting to be a light and share the truth that Jesus, God can give them that. They just have to allow him to, they just have to receive that from him before they can truly just live that out. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You pray that over us.
Jesus, I just thank you for your love and your peace and just your truth and your light. And that with you, there is no darkness, Lord, and your light shines and covers all, Lord, and through trials and tribulations, Lord, whether that's helping a family member struggle through cancer or finding my way back to university, Lord, you've been there, and everybody in this room has that those deep wounds and that deep darkness and despair that they've experienced, Lord, and whether you've healed them from that or not, Lord, I just pray that you that you show yourself in that, Lord, that darkness becomes full of light with your love, Lord. And I pray that everybody in this room receives from you, just receives from you fully what they need to, so they're able to extend that to others, Lord. Would they receive relationship with you so they're able to build relationship with others, Lord. Would they receive love from you so they're able to love others? Would they receive healing from you so they're able to help others heal, Lord? Would they receive encouragement and endurance and strength from you, Lord, so they're able to provide that to others, Lord, and so they wouldn't depend on themselves first to provide that, Lord, but would receive that from you, and it be fully from you and of you, so that they are able to not boast in themselves, but just brag in who you are and the strength that you give us, Lord. So I pray against any lies from the enemy for anybody in this room that they're currently believing or have told themselves, Lord, that have just affected their trajectory, Lord. Would you just reveal that lie? Would you highlight that lie, Lord? And would you just allow them to find the truth and hear your truth in those lies, Jesus? And would you just bring people alongside them to walk through them with that, Lord? And I just pray for healing over lies that we have told ourselves that just aren't true, Lord. And would we just see your truth and see ourselves as you see us, God, of just children that who you desire to love as we are where we're at, Lord. So would we just come to you and just receive from you first and foremost, Lord. And then would you just put on our hearts to go out and share that with those around us, Jesus. I lift them up in your name.